Hello there. Welcome, welcome, and I hope you are having fun, and I hope you are enjoying a new season or new warm weather. Especially people in America, we had a long winter, and we are now in another new season, so it's much warmer now, especially today. We have a really warm temperature, so I'm so excited, I'm so happy about it. All right, last time I started talking about my story, my personal story, my personal journey, and I hope you had a chance already to check out my previous videos, and I hope you are learning something, and I hope that you are taking action to protect your children, to protect anyone you love. I hope you are learning that this world is full with bad guys, and it's full with surprises. All right, because the way I grew up was this kind of quiet girl, and also just a Christian girl, but nobody knew the pain I was going through, that I endured in hands of Pastor MUSAFIRI Chidunga, who molested me for years, since I was a teenager. And this went on for years, and it has been a long journey for me to get to this point today of sharing my story with the world. Alors, soyez le bienvenu tout le monde, et je suis très contente et très ravie d'être avec vous ici aujourd'hui, et j'espère que vous aviez eu le temps de voir mes vidéos que j'avais encore postées avant à propos de la douleur que j'ai connue pendant longtemps, et des situations que j'ai traversées avec pasteur MUSAFIRI Chidunga dans la chorale SAYUNI, ou bien dans la chorale A, et à l'église de SAYUNI à Bukavu. Et si vous n'avez pas encore eu le temps donc de revoir mes vidéos, je vous en prie, il faut commencer par là pour comprendre toute l'histoire. Parce que si vous ne commencez pas par la première vidéo, vous aurez donc difficile à comprendre la suite de mon histoire. Mais j'aimerais que vous sachiez que je suis ici pour parler de mon histoire, qui est aussi l'histoire de tout le monde, ou bien de beaucoup de femmes, ou bien de beaucoup des enfants à Bukavu qui ont souffert pendant longtemps en silence entre les mains de ces pasteurs MUSAFIRI Chidunga. Il était pasteur à l'église SAYUNI à Bukavu, dans la chorale A, et puis après il a été donc ordonné ou bien placé à être pasteur donc de la branche Amani à BUHOLO 2. D'accord? Anyway, this world, it's really full with so many surprises. Last time I responded to someone by the name of George Buhendwa, who attacked me on Facebook because I spoke about Pastor MUSAFIRI on my sharing my story with the world, and this George Buhendwa decided to call me names and to come after me. So I needed to respond to him, which I did, and I think he understood, and I think he learned more, and I think he's really a coward, and I hope he will never hurt any other person again because the woman decided to speak up about her pain. So today I'm going to talk more again about my pain in hands of Pastor MUSAFIRI. This is the book I wrote in this story, and you can get this book on Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com or on my website, ColetteWorldGroup.com, ColetteWorldGroup.com, Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and other places where they sell books. I will put the link on the bottom, and there is also a French version of this book. Please get a copy so you can learn my story for yourself. Get a copy. The French version, you can find the link for French version on my website, or you can get the French version at présenceafricaine.com, présenceafricaine.com. C'est-à-dire, tu peux trouver la version française sur le site qu'on appelle présenceafricaine.com, présenceafricaine.com. La compagnie se trouve à Paris, en France. Mais si tu cherches seulement présenceafricaine.com, présenceafricaine.com, tu peux trouver donc le livre sur présenceafricaine.com. D'accord? Et puis pour les anglophones, you can find this book on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, ColetteWorldGroup.com, and published by you look for Joseph E. Mwantuali. Joseph E. Mwantuali. All right, Joseph E. Mwantuali. He's a professor here in America at one of the university here in America, and he has been there for me. He has been really caring for me. He understood my pain. He understood what I went through. As I said, the reason I'm doing this is to try to make a change. It's not okay for anybody, any family, to send their child in a church and that church destroy the child. It's not okay. And especially I'm calling upon Sayuni or SEPAC leadership for change. This issue of molestation or sexual abuse has been going on for so long at church, in Sayuni, at SEPAC congregation. At Sayuni is a church located in Bukavu, and specifically in Kadutu. That's where I was singing, that's where I grew up spiritually. As I said, I joined the congregation of SEPAC when I was a kid. I started in children choir at UAMINIFU branch at the BUHOLO Premier. It was at the border with BUHOLO D or BUHOLO the second and BUHOLO the first. So the church was at the border there. All right. And when I joined the church or this service, I was still in elementary school. That's how small I was. I was still at elementary school. J'étais encore à l'école primaire lorsque j'avais commencé à chanter dans la chorale des enfants. J'étais encore à l'école primaire. Lorsque j'étais devenue protestante, lorsque j'étais devenue chrétienne protestante, j'étais encore à l'école primaire, à l'école des filles. And so, j'ai chanté dans cette chorale des enfants, j'avais beaucoup aimé. Et j'étais devenue protestante juste à cause de la chorale des enfants. Parce que j'aimais beaucoup chanter. C'est pourquoi j'étais devenue protestante. Mais toute ma famille était catholique. Il n'y a que moi qui était protestante. Et j'étais devenue protestante juste parce que j'étais attirée par les voix des enfants, comme j'ai écrit dans ces romans. Un jour, j'ai passé par là, j'allais chez mon grand frère qui vivait à BUHOLO et j'avais entendu les enfants chanter. Et c'est comme ça que j'étais attirée par leur voix et j'avais décidé donc de joindre la chorale des enfants quelques jours après. Et j'avais beaucoup aimé. I loved being in children choir. I loved singing. I loved singing and I had a voice and I still have a voice. J'avais une très belle voix et j'ai toujours ma voix jusqu'à présent. Et je chantais dans la chorale des enfants sans peur. Je ne pouvais jamais penser à quoi que ce soit comme ce qui m'est arrivé plus tard. I never think of anything. So I was safe. I felt safe in children choir. I was happy to be there, to sing, and to be with the other children every day. But then when I went in grown-up choir, when I was transferred, to grown-up choir, avant d'être dans la chorale des adultes, I never really, je n'avais jamais vraiment faire contact avec pasteur MUSAFIRI Chidunga. Parce qu'il n'était pas membre de la chorale des enfants. on avait d'autres gens qui étaient des leaders de la chorale des enfants, mais MUSAFIRI n'était pas parmi les leaders de la chorale des enfants. Mais sinon, I had interaction with the Pastor MUSAFIRI when I moved to children choir. That's when I started having interaction with him. So as I described in here, the first time he asked me to perform oral sex to him or on him, it was a very, very painful day for me. Very, very, very painful day. I never expect anything like that at church. You know, Sayuni, it's a very, very conservative church or congregation. Very, very conservative. And the doctrine of SEPAC or SEPZA at that time, it used to be called SEPZA and it became SEPAC when the country changed the name. But before it was SEPZA and then it became SEPAC. So the doctrine was that girls must be virgin until the time of marriage. If you became a Christian, well, you are too young, which I was very young when I became a Christian. And I never expected to be hurt, to be broken in pieces in church. I thought I was gonna be safe in church. It never crossed my mind at all that I'll be in pain there. The doctrine is that girls and boys was difficult even to hold hands because that's the doctrine of the church. And I'm calling upon the leadership of Sayuni, of SEPAC, everywhere. Please look into this matter carefully. There is many women who were hurt at Sayuni in hands of Pastor MUSAFIRI or by Pastor MUSAFIRI Chidunga. I'm not the only one. There is many women who were hurt. Pastor MUSAFIRI was a monster, was a molester. He abused so many women, so many children at church. He did. Pastor MUSAFIRI abused so many women at church. And I don't know how he became so trusted by the leadership. He became so trusted by the missionary. But Pastor MUSAFIRI was a very, very dangerous man at church. Pastor MUSAFIRI was a very, very dangerous man at Sayuni in this congregation of SEPAC. Pastor MUSAFIRI molested me for years. Pastor MUSAFIRI stole my childhood from me. Pastor MUSAFIRI m'avait molesté pendant des années. Pastor MUSAFIRI m'avait volé mon enfance. Pastor MUSAFIRI avait détruit mon innocence. Pastor MUSAFIRI destroyed my innocence. Pastor MUSAFIRI. Pastor MUSAFIRI avait détruit mon innocence. il avait détruit ça. Parce que the doctrine of CEPAC is that no sex outside of a marriage, no sex before marriage. And I lived up to that. J'avais peur, j'avais respecté cela. J'avais vécu sur cette foi-là, ou sur cette doctrine. I embraced my faith and I loved God. I loved Jesus. I gave my heart, my soul, my everything to him, to Jesus. And Pastor MUSAFIRI betrayed me. Pastor MUSAFIRI betrayed me. Pastor MUSAFIRI betrayed my faith. Pastor MUSAFIRI betrayed my faith. When I went to children choir, I thought I'm gonna be really the happy child. I was going through a lot home. I wasn't happy home. I was going through a lot home because, as I said, I lost my parents when I was a toddler. I didn't know my parents. Je ne me souviens même pas du visage de mon père ni de ma mère. Mon père était un commerçant et il a fait un accident de la voiture et puis il était mort sur les champs. Ma mère était morte après ça. Et après maintenant ça, j'étais entre les mains des autres avec d'autres grandes sœurs. And it wasn't that easy home. But when I found the church, I was praying for my life every single day. When I was singing, it was a time for me for peace. It was a time for me to talk to this God I couldn't see. But it was more peaceful time for me when I was singing, because I was feeling like I'm giving my pain to somebody else. It was painful home. I was already like living in an environment that wasn't really pleasant home, you know, because my parents were not around. And the Pastor MUSAFIRI, when I started singing in grown-up choir the first time, I told him everything that I didn't have a parents, because he was asking questions. He knew that I didn't have a parents. So I was the right target to him. I was the right target. But I didn't have any idea that he was gonna really do all those things he did. I didn't know. But Pastor MUSAFIRI hurt me. Pastor MUSAFIRI knew I was a child. I had no parents. But for him to pull his pants down, to show me his nakedness, that was a sickening to me. That was a sickening to me. And this needs to change at Sayuni. This needs to change. Pastors need to stop molesting other parents and children. Pastors need to stop abusing other children. Pastors, we trusted you. I trusted the pastors so much. I trusted them. But Pastor MUSAFIRI destroyed me. Pastor MUSAFIRI killed me. Pastor MUSAFIRI destroyed my youth. Pastor MUSAFIRI destroyed my life. I trusted the church. I trusted the church. I was gonna be safe. But Pastor MUSAFIRI destroyed me. He's the first grown-up man I saw naked. C'est là. C'est le premier homme que j'avais vu nu, Pasteur MUSAFIRI. Pourquoi? Pourquoi ça? C'est pas que c'est un péché, non? C'est ça qu'on a toujours prêché, que c'est un péché de toucher un homme avant le mariage, de voir l'iniquité ou bien la nudité d'un homme avant le mariage. Mais c'est le même pasteur encore qui s'est déshabillé devant moi, qui m'a demandé de performer l'acte sexuel pour lui. Pasteur MUSAFIRI. Et comme j'ai dit, the first time I performed oral sex on him, it was at his house. At his house. So, anybody who's trying to defend him, George Buhendo was trying to defend him, you can't defend Pastor MUSAFIRI. He was a monster. He was a monster. Until today, I'm still taking medicine for nausea. Je prends encore les médicaments pour la nausée aujourd'hui. Because I'm still getting the flashback of his sperm, the smell of his sperm. That's what I'm dealing with. That's what I've been going through. J'avais confronté Pasteur MUSAFIRI. And I will get to that. Je vais expliquer ça plus tard un jour. Je l'avais confronté. Pasteur MUSAFIRI savait que j'écrivais ce livre. He knew about this book. And if he didn't tell his kids, I don't care. I'm telling my story. I don't care. I'm telling my story. Pastor MUSAFIRI, Chidunga, I trusted him. I consider him as a father to me, but he destroyed me. I've been silent for so long. Je me suis tue pour longtemps. Mais maintenant, j'ai décidé de dire tout. Je me suis décidé de tout dire maintenant. Pastor MUSAFIRI used to call me Weka Totoe. You little girl. Yes, indeed, I was a little girl. Ndio nilikuwa katoto. Oui, j'étais toute une petite fille. Mais malgré que j'étais toute une petite fille, Pasteur MUSAFIRI s'était déshabillé devant moi. Dans l'annexe de chez lui. La maison qui était tout près, qui était connectée à sa grande maison. C'est là où ses habits s'étaient passés. Dans l'annexe de chez lui. Là où il y a les garçons qui dormaient là-bas. Il avait beaucoup de gens chez lui. I will never forget his face. Et jusqu'à présent, son visage me revient toujours. La façon dont il riait. La façon dont il parlait à moi. La façon dont il me demandait de faire des choses. Continue. Ça me revient chaque fois des flashs de sa voix. Le flash de son visage est toujours sur moi. Pasteur MUSAFIRI, il a détruit ma vie. Pasteur MUSAFIRI, il a détruit l'enfant de quelqu'un d'autre. J'avais un peur et j'ai un peur. Pourquoi me détruire? Je demande à l'église de Sayuni de faire quelque chose sur ce problème sexuel dans l'église. Parce qu'il y a beaucoup de femmes, beaucoup de filles qui étaient détruites par Pasteur MUSAFIRI. Pasteur MUSAFIRI avait détruit ma jeunesse. Pasteur MUSAFIRI avait détruit ma vie. Pourquoi on ne peut pas être sécurisé à l'église? À l'église? À l'église? Pourquoi? Why we are not safe in church? Why? Why? It's a sin. I confessed Pastor MUSAFIRI's sin every single day. J'avais confessé le péché de Pasteur MUSAFIRI chaque jour. J'avais confessé ça. Pasteur MUSAFIRI m'avait fait toucher les choses que je ne devais pas toucher à cet âge. Pasteur MUSAFIRI, je demande que l'église de Sayuni protège les enfants, protège les femmes contre des pasteurs pareils. Protect them. C'est quel parent? Pasteur MUSAFIRI. Un pasteur qui dit qu'il ne faut pas faire de rapports sexuels avant le mariage. Mais c'était encore le même pasteur qui me demandait de les lécher chaque fois. C'était encore le même pasteur qui me touchait au vagin chaque fois. C'était le même pasteur qui touchait mes seins chaque fois. Pourquoi? Pourquoi? Où est la peur? Où est la peur du péché maintenant au pasteur? Pasteur MUSAFIRI avait pris mon innocence. And I'm so angry at him. Je suis très fâchée contre Pasteur MUSAFIRI. I'm so angry. It took me longer to get here where I am today, to speak up. Ça m'a pris longtemps pour que j'arrive au point de parler publiquement de tout ce que Pasteur MUSAFIRI avait fait à moi. Ça m'a pris longtemps. And I'm still going through therapy. Je suis encore sous thérapie de psychiatre à cause de ce que Pasteur MUSAFIRI avait fait à moi. Ça m'a pris longtemps, mais maintenant je suis prête à parler de tout. Il y a quelqu'un qui m'a dit que oh, il est déjà mort. Pourquoi tu parles encore de lui? Hitler est mort depuis longtemps. Mais on parle encore d'Hitler aujourd'hui. On regarde encore le film d'Hitler aujourd'hui. Et alors, même si Pasteur MUSAFIRI est mort, Ses actions ne sont pas mortes. Ses actions sont toujours ici. His actions are here with me. He wrote this story with me. Pastor MUSAFIRI wrote this story with me. So stop telling me that he's dead. Stop. I want things to change at Sayuni. I want things to change at church. I can't take it anymore. We can't take it anymore, women. Sexual abuse, it's hurting us. It's painful. Et c'est lui qui couvrait toujours pour Pasteur MUSAFIRI. C'était Namujima, ou bien on appelait ça Baba Penzi. Baba Penzi connaissait tout ce que Pasteur MUSAFIRI faisait. Baba Penzi connaissait tout ce que Pasteur MUSAFIRI faisait. Baba Penzi connaissait tout ce que Pasteur MUSAFIRI faisait. Oh, Namujima. Il connaissait tout ce que Pasteur MUSAFIRI faisait. Il était complice dans tout ça. Baba Penzi. As I said in the book, after that first time, Pastor MUSAFIRI became more and more ingenious in creating opportunities to be with me. Après qu'il m'avait molesté pour la première fois, chez lui, dans l'annexe de chez lui, il avait commencé maintenant à créer des occasions d'être juste avec moi. During school vacations, when he knew that I was free during the day, he skipped work, missing even appointment with others. Pastor MUSAFIRI was asking me to come to church to do extra practice all the time. There is a time I wanted to learn how to play piano. I wanted to learn how to play piano. But he was the one who was supposed to be teaching me how to play piano. And the first practice, he was behind me. The piano used to be, I don't know if it's still there at church, the piano used to be just at the altar. When you climb at the altar, at the corner at the altar there, that's where the piano used to be at church, at Sayuni. So I wanted to play piano so badly. I wanted to play music also so badly. Guitar or piano, anything. I want to learn that. I was so curious in so many things at church. But Pastor MUSAFIRI was the one again who was supposed to teach me how to play piano. And when he was behind me, teaching me how to place my fingers on a piano keyboard, his hand was in my breast. I felt like I'm gonna pass out that day. His hand was in my breast. I froze. I was a kid. teenager. This is a grown-up man who's touching my breast at church, at the altar, at church. Pastor MUSAFIRI was touching my breast while he was teaching me a piano lesson. I stood up. Je me suis levée. I stood up. And I left. I didn't finish the piano lesson anymore. I didn't finish the piano lesson. That day, I didn't finish the piano lesson. And he said, come back. And I said, no. I entered. There was a room, there was another door just close to the altar where pastors used to use that door to enter and to go straight to the altar. So I opened that small door and I went outside. Where that door was like the choir members could sit over here, and the door was here, and the altar was over here. So I left. I entered that door, and it was a room there. I went outside, and he came outside, and I said, no, I'm going home. I went home, and that was the first and the last time I did the piano lesson. He continued to tell me that he wanted to teach me piano. He wanted to teach me piano. I kept saying, no, I don't want to learn the piano anymore. He said, I don't want to learn the piano anymore. I don't want to. Because I didn't want him to touch my breast anymore. I felt violated. I didn't want to learn the piano anymore. I said, I'm done. I didn't want to learn the piano anymore. I said, it's too much for me. I don't want to learn it anymore. I'm just gonna learn something else. But the reason I didn't want to learn the piano anymore was because I didn't want him to touch me anymore. I didn't want Pastor MUSAFIRI to touch me anymore, because just the first time he was teaching me piano, he started touching my breast. So I need to stop learning piano. And I didn't want to learn it anymore. So he doesn't have a chance to touch me anymore. That was painful. Because after the first oral sex, I never been the same again. Never be the same again. Never be the little girl anymore. I was angry at the Pastor MUSAFIRI. Very angry. Now you know why I didn't learn the piano at choir at SAYUNI. I continued to go to my practice, the choir. But That's how it is. Parents and young girls. And I'm calling upon the leadership of Sayuni. I'm calling upon the leadership of Sayuni. Let's make change. Women need to be safe at Sayuni. Children must be safe at Sayuni. Protect the children and the women. Protect them. I sent a letter to Pastor MUSAFIRI to tell him to stop what he was doing to me if he is still doing it. I sent a letter to him. My sister Monique, who died, took the letter to him at Ibra Radio in Nyawera. She dropped the letter there to him, and she told him, I know everything that is in this letter, and I am going to take you to court myself. My sister told him that. So Pastor MUSAFIRI knew. So I'm calling upon the church. I'm calling upon Sayuni leadership. Make a change. Make a change in church. Change. Fear God. Vous enseignez qu'il ne faut pas pécher. Et moi, j'ai confessé le péché de Pasteur MUSAFIRI chaque jour. J'ai confessé ça. Parents, protect your children. Parents, protect your children. Don't trust any pastor. Don't trust any pastor. Don't trust any pastor with your children. I'm looking at what is going on now in Africa. Things are getting worse. Pastors and this so-called prophet, they are raping, they are molesting, they are abusing sexually every woman, children. Things are getting worse. Where is the Christianity in all this? Where is the doctrine of Christianity? No sex before marriage. Where is the Christianity? Protect the children at church. I'm calling upon Sayuni to change things. Why they didn't tell the entire congregation the reason MUSAFIRI was fired? Why they didn't tell everybody the reason MUSAFIRI was fired? Sayuni leadership. Why they didn't tell everybody the reason MUSAFIRI was fired? Il fallait dire à tout le monde pourquoi est-ce qu'on avait chassé MUSAFIRI de ses fonctions. Pourquoi Sayuni avait caché ça aux gens? Pourquoi Sayuni n'avait pas dit la raison pour laquelle MUSAFIRI était chassé de ses fonctions? We need change. We need to change things now. Please, parents, protect your children. Don't trust any pastor. Don't trust any church. Protect your children. Protect your children. I've been quiet for so long, but I was so hurt in Sayuni Church in Bukavu. I was so hurt. I was molested at Sayuni Church. So protect your children. Thank you for listening. We're gonna fight this. Get the book. Tell this to my mother. And this is the French version. And don't forget about the children book. This is the children book, Lily and the Gift, Planet Earth. Get it on Amazon.com. So all these books can be found on Amazon.com or on my website. Protect the kids. SAYUNI-CHURCH. Things need to change. Tell the congregation why Pastor MUSAFIRI was fired. Thank you. Until next time again. How can I be abused at church?